Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome back to my Road to Mufasa, where I'm covering every Lion King film in honor of Mufasa coming to theaters next week. I've already covered Lion King 1 and 2, link in the eye in the right-hand corner. Go check those videos out if you are so inclined. But for right now, let's get into The Lion King 1.5. This was directed by Bradley Raymond. He had directed Pocahontas 2 and Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 before doing this one, and it sees the return of Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabala as Timon and Pumbaa respectively, with Julie Kavner playing Timon's mom and Jerry Stiller playing Timon's Uncle Max. And this sort of kinda retells the story of the first Lion King through the eyes of Timon and Pumbaa. Shows scenes from their perspective, shows scenes that happened during Simba's time in exile that had never been seen before, all while spliced in what happens when Bradley Raymond watches Mystery Science Theater 3000 for the first time.
Space is warped and time is bendable.
I promise this movie's actually good. It's better than I'm making it sound. Come to find out in my research, there was sort of a plan to do this from the beginning, and there was precedent for doing a story like this. We all know that The Lion King is basically Hamlet, but with animated lions. We all know this. However, there is a side play, I guess, adjacent to Hamlet called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, where two of the side characters from Hamlet recount scenes from Hamlet from their perspective, while Hamlet comes in and reenacts some of the classic scenes before leaving. So yeah, someone thought to do something like this. And so The Lion King 1.5 is basically the side piece, I guess, to The Lion King. Not necessarily a sequel, but not necessarily a prequel either, or not even a pre-sequel. It's just The Lion King 1.5. It's one of the weirdest it's one of the weirdest build-ups to a movie I think I've ever researched and read for. But like I said, the movie's actually way better than I was anticipating, and I think it really comes down to the movie had a vision, it focused on that vision, it committed, therefore it succeeded. The first 15-20 minutes of the movie or so are dedicated to Timon's origins, where he is just the definition of an outsider. And to the movie's credit, they do a great job of building up sympathy for him, and that literally his mother is the only person who likes him, and even that is a little tenuous. Every meerkat in this village hates this poor meerkat in Timon, especially his uncle, Uncle Max, voiced by Jerry Stiller. And this was just a punch in my nostalgia brain for me. I grew up watching The King of Queens, where he was Arthur Spooner, and I'm certain for a generation he was also Frank Costanza. I haven't watched all of Seinfeld, so I haven't gotten there yet. But for me, he will always be Arthur Spooner from The King of Queens. And when I heard that distinct Jerry Stiller voice, I perked up. I'm not gonna lie.
I got two words for you. I'm staying right here.
Research come to find out this was actually supposed to be Lion King 3, Lion King 1.5. And it was supposed to be Lion King, but told from Timon and Pumbaa's perspective. I don't know how that would have worked theatrically, but I think if they went for a direct-to-video route, which is what it seemed to be going for, then it may have been an interesting experiment. But I think, like I said, they commit to the vision, but they also kind of recognize the tongue-in-cheekness of it all. They don't try to play it straight. It's more comedic than the first Lion King, and I think that's why it succeeds. I think the Mystery Science Theater 3000 homages can be a little distracting at times, but again, it kind of plays into the vision of, okay, this is what they're going for, so I'm not a huge fan of it, but I appreciate the commitment. My favorite scenes in the movie, like I said, other than Timon's origins, were the scenes in which Timon and Pumbaa and Simba are living together as a surrogate family. I really enjoyed that stuff. There's also a great little homage to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in there, where Simba and Timon basically have a drinking contest, but instead of alcohol, it's snails. I'm sure that will be gross to some, but in the context of what they're going for, I was laughing. There's even a couple of banger songs here. The first song where the meerkats go, quick before the hyena come, that's been in my head for days. So if this was going to be Lion King 3, or if this is close as we're getting to Lion King 3, I'm glad this exists. It's not necessarily what I was expecting, but I'm glad it exists. If you find this movie on physical or on streaming, it's on Disney Plus, go check it out. I'm going to give this a good rating, but a high good rating. And I'll be honest, I was not expecting to dig both Lion King 2 and Lion King 1.5 as much, but they're good for different reasons. Lion King 2 told a different story, but it was earnest. And Lion King 1.5 was earnest, but it embraced the whole comedic side of it and the meta-ness, if you will. And you all know how I feel about meta stuff. I don't particularly care for it, but here it surprisingly works. That being said, though, we need a proper Lion King 3, and I know I said that at the end of Lion King 2, but I'll say it again. King Lear is sitting there collecting dust. I've seen Lion King 1.5. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And well, we have approached the Rubicon, and it is time to cross the bridge and burn the bridge behind us. It's time for the Lion King 2019 style. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.